65 years ago, American troops put an end to the Holocaust, liberating the Jews from the clutches of Hitler's Third Reich. The world promised to never forget. Well, 120 of these American heroes came together this week for a special meeting with General David Petraeus. Emanuel has their story.
It is April 1945. Hitler and the Nazis are furiously trying to carry out their final solution, once and for all, to exterminate the Jews. But Patton's army is on the way, and soon the Americans will put an end to the killing, liberating Nazi concentration camps. 65 years later, in what could be one of the last times so many of them are together, 120 American heroes gather as part of a week-long Holocaust remembrance. They were the first Americans to witness the horrors of Nazi Germany. And on this day, they were the honored guests for a special meeting with CENTCOM Commander General David Petraeus, and a chance to share the stories they will never forget.
I never thought that a human being could ever be treated that way, ever. Not even an animal, let alone a human being. And we were instructed by the officers not to feed them anything because they might die the next morning, but you cannot keep food from a starving person.
Despite the horrors of what they saw, many of the Americans never lost their perspective on right and wrong. Like Leo Hymas, who rather than killing 91 Nazi soldiers when he came upon them trying to flee, took them prisoner instead and took for himself a souvenir.
So I knew he and his buddies had done all this bad stuff, and that's why I came so close to killing him.
But you didn't?
Did not. I thought of a higher authority.
And there are other stories of humanity amidst the suffering.
We took this little boy, he was all skin and bones, and we took him to the our mess hall, the mess truck, and the mess sergeant took him over and fed him. And when we got ready to come back to the States, we brought him back in a barracks bag.
That young boy, a survivor, went on to become a professor at Oklahoma State University. Other survivors who attended the National Day of Remembrance ceremony at the Capitol were moved by the chance to meet their liberators.
The fact that I met some of them and they're still with us was an honor indeed. Because by the time I was liberated, or all of us were, we were literally the walking dead.
Petraeus, a former commander of the 101st Airborne Division, made a point of honoring one fellow Screaming Eagle, holding him up as an example of the greatest generation.
The liberators with us here today should know that their actions continue to inspire those who wear our nation's uniform. Their units remain proud of their noble actions.
In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.